China is tightening export rules on crucial rare earth minerals. Tesla relies on these, but has said that it plans to strip them out of its cars in the future. And joining us now, George Gianarikas, Canaccord Genuity senior analyst. This is, I think, matters to Tesla, obviously. But, George, I don't know if you can speak to the semiconductor industry and all the other varied and sundry industries that rely on these rare earths. But for Tesla, how significant is it? And you've got a lot of other things. I mean, the lapse of the EV subsidies is probably a much bigger deal for Tesla.
Well, they matter for Tesla in their current vehicles. Now, as you discussed, they plan to strip some of those out of their future vehicles, like the Cybercab. But importantly, rare earths go into everything. The magnets go into iPhones, industrial applications, defense applications. And for Tesla's future growth, their robots use actuators, which use permanent magnets. So they're incredibly important to their future plans as well.
Yeah, maybe not, even if it's not cars, it's all the other things that they do, and that matters. Are you here to talk about rare earths, George, or are you here to talk about your views on Tesla and the rebound and whether it's going to continue?
Either or. I mean, we cover rare earth material stocks. We cover Tesla. I mean, Tesla's in an interesting position where they have to, continue to grow, and a lot of the growth that they're counting on is from new vehicles with these EV subsidies going away. Our gut tells us that we probably have some more things that are coming. But in the future, in the longer term, robots are critical to the growth, and rare earth materials are critical for those. So it's sort of a symbiotic relationship between the two.
Yeah, because I think we need to definitely talk about, the overall effect of what China is trying to do. Do you think that this is just another piece of the puzzle for the way China is trying to deal with tariffs? Do you really expect them to enforce? It's very stringent, these latest guidelines. I can't imagine that it actually comes to pass. One person called it the economic equivalent of nuclear war if they were to follow through on this.
They're a very, very big deal. And I mean, this is way above my pay grade, but I suspect they're a negotiating tactic ahead of discussions between Trump and Xi. We'll see. What people have called it is a chips for magnets, tit for tat, and that's what it feels like. I mean, every discussion between the U.S. and China seems to involve NVIDIA, and the counter is that they involve rare earth magnets. And what we need in this country, we need to build a separate supply chain from the rocks all the way up to the magnets as quickly as possible. And that's why the government did what they did with MP Materials. And we suspect there's more to come with other companies.
What else is Tesla going to do? Back to that. New models, what would they be? I mean, Tesla's done this well with what I think they all look like. One's red, one's blue, one's white. I see them, they drive me nuts. That's all I see in my neighborhood is another Tesla, like going by without making a sound. I can't imagine what he'd do if he introduced what Elon could do if he introduced some sexy new models, or is it just going to be cheaper or more features? They're not really into that. What I think is important in buying a car, and that's that, God, I want a Camaro or a Firebird or something like that.
Well, I really like the vehicles. That's just my taste. But the growth drivers are multiple. We have new vehicles that could drive growth. We have obviously the robotaxi ambitions, which will help over the near, medium, and long term. We have energy storage.
Anything about the new vehicles, George? They're going to look,
The new ones that they just launched are a stripped-down Model 3 and Y, where they were able to lower the price to sort of blunt the impact of the EV tax credits going away. My gut tells me that they have more. They may actually finally introduce the Roadster, which is incredibly highly priced, but looks super compelling. They may have sort of variations on the Cybertruck, and the Cybercab is obviously something that they'll offer for robotaxi. So there's a lot on their plate, and I suspect they'll execute on that next year.
Is that the new Roadster that I remember? The old one was really, I drove one once 15 years ago, and it was really small on the inside. I'm sure they got it down now, and that's probably something that aficionados are really looking forward to. What do you know about it?
Well, there were some rumors about putting some rocket boosters on them and leveraging the SpaceX relationship. I'm sure it'll be super interesting. We've seen the mock-ups and probably changed since then.
Just what you need in like New Jersey, crowded New Jersey. The rocket boosters on it. Where do you go to drive it?
Maybe the Autobahn. Maybe somewhere on the highway.
Take it over to yeah.
Exactly.
All right,
but it looks interesting.
Ahead. No, okay. All right, George.
It looks.
Yeah, go ahead.
It looks like an amazing vehicle and won't probably sell a lot, but it helps the brand just like the Model S and the Model X did in the past.
Okay. All right, George. George, I said it pretty good. Gianna-Ricas, right?
Better than my mom. Yeah,
better than your mom
good.
can even say.
Yeah. Wow.
What was her mate? I don't need to know, but yeah, she had to learn it like the rest of us. I think when she married your father, probably. Exactly.